mujeres, niños y también dedicado a empoderar familias para que reconecten con sus valores. Apoya a otras mujeres también a ser 10 Next Ladies, ya que dominen su industria, construyan su imperio y también tengan balance en su familia y relaciones. Se dedica también, es cofundadora de Elena Cardone Foundation, donde ella se dedica con un rol específico a empoderar a jóvenes, a entender de una manera más profunda las finanzas y negocios, para empoderarlos, acompañarlos y apoyarlos a que tengan una vida mejor y sepan cómo llevar una economía sana. También ella tuvo un gran inicio como actriz en Hollywood, tuvo bastante éxito en ambas industrias, cine y televisión, y también es best-seller author de Build an Empire, How to Have It All. También está en The Elena Cardone Show como podcast. Salen de vuelta, es completamente imparable. Incluso tiene una empresa dedicada que se llama Cardone Mortgage, donde se dedica a otros individuos a acompañarlos a poder tener la casa de sus sueños a través de opciones personalizadas y que se ajusten a su economía. Y al mismo tiempo lidera eventos y retiros de manera anual en Empire Elite Academy, donde se encarga de dar retiros, como 10 Next Ladies, 10 Next Couples también, y las acompaña a tener el balance y el éxito que merecen, y al mismo tiempo les da coaching de manera personal. Ella vive en Miami con Grant Cardone y vive con sus 2 hijas también ahí en Miami. Y al lado de Grant Cardone como equipo, porque eso es algo increíble que hace Elena, invita a las mujeres a reconectar con su valor y la contribución que le dan a la sociedad para que construyan en equipo con su pareja. Y el resultado que ha tenido con su equipo, que se llama Grant, es un portafolio en real estate valuado en más de $5 billones. 5 billones, billones con B de la buena. $5 billones. Así que, sin más, ponte de pie con toda tu energía.
To Mexico, Elena. What a beautiful city. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. It's really an honor. Thanks for bringing me here, Corral. Give it up for Corral! No, for me it's a privilege to have you here. I mean, you and Grant, you guys have been mentors for me. As a woman, I admire you so much. Like, Elena and I, we were talking just a bit before, you know what her example has been for me, her mindset, because obviously I have a lot of men friends that have money, right, and that are business entrepreneurs, and but I don't have a lot of women examples, you know, women examples of being mothers, but running a business, having a business, making money, you know, and I see her, and from her I've learned, you know, a couple times, like we were just talking, that she was laughing, she was like, girl, when you first came, like you were single, girl, like I went to, and tell them what you told me.
Before the
couples retreat.
Well, for the couples retreat, I tried to get her to come to this couples retreat, and she was like, but I'm single. And I'm like, I know, and you've been single every single time you've come to these events, yet you tell me you want to find a partner in life. And she was like, so I can't come to the couples retreat because I don't have a partner. I'm like, that's not how it works. You don't wait for something to happen. I go, you get the couples retreat, you put your money down, and you go create your life. And she shows up.
True.
I was like,
True
you
story.
just keep
True
waiting.
story.
You know, life doesn't come in and like save you or rescue it. You have to create it. So she put it there. She changed her mindset to go, you know what? I'm going to make this happen. And she shows up to the couples retreat with her now husband.
Yes, yes.
He, poor thing, he was telling me backstage they had been together for 4 months. He didn't even really know who I was or Grant was, and now he's at this couples
No, we
retreat.
were 1 month together.
1 month?
1 month together. I'm like, we're going to this couples retreat, my love. And he was like, who's Grant? Yeah, I drove him.
And look at him now. I take full credit, by the way. I take full credit. That is my product. That's my product right there.
So, Elena, thank you for being here. So I have a question for you. What is the biggest mindset shift women need to make to stop playing small and take control of their lives?
I really think the number one thing universally for women, I don't like to speak for women, but it's what I've noticed, like what I've observed. I don't want to use too many words. I know there's a lot of people here that
We have translators.
Okay. So what I have observed, especially for myself, was that I didn't realize the value of myself. So I think the number one thing in the shift in mindset is women really need to understand their value and make themselves valuable. If you don't feel that if you feel like you're a fraud or a fake or an imposter because you feel like, well, what value does little old me have? You know, that's when you really have to dig in and go, well, who are you? What is your value? Do you have the potential to walk past somebody on a street and smile and have them smile back? That's value. That's power. Power is the capacity or the ability to influence the behavior of others. Do you have the value to encourage a friend, a partner, your child, lift them up, be a cheerleader? Then you have value, and it just can increase from there the more that you're willing to take responsibility for it. And the more you're willing to self-enhance and self-educate so that you can feel like you're even more worthy of the power that you possess. But for me, the number one mind shift that I had to do, and that I think more women have to do, is understand their value to themselves, to their families, to society. I mean, just women in general. Even if you're not a mother, and you don't have to be valuable or credible if you're not a mother. So don't take this out of context. But your breed, your line, species, the female species, when you really look at it, you come from a line that has the ability to continue mankind. Like, it's mothers, it's nurturers, it's bringing life into the world and helping the next generation come up. So that alone is like, anyone can be anything in business, and that's important. But not anyone can actually be a mother that rears contributing members of society and helps forward the legacy of mankind. And I can't wait until more people go up to mothers and say, wow, thank you for your contribution to mankind. You know?
Yes, and Sabrina and Scarlett are amazing examples of this. Elena, why is it crucial for women to achieve financial independence? And how would you say, or like, what would your advice be for them to overcome personal barriers that hold them back when we're talking about women making money and being powerful?
Well, to me, I think it's really important that women have their financial success and stability for a number of different reasons. One of the things is it allows you to make decisions for yourself that are in your best interest, your family's best interest, your community's best interest. You don't have to be victim of circumstance or somebody else holding the strings above you. So that's extremely powerful. And one of the things, in order to be able to have financial freedom, to be able to have financial literacy, is overcoming this idea that money is something to be avoided, that money is to be feared. Money is a tool, and the more that you understand how to use it, like you could be afraid of a kitchen knife, correct? Or a gun. But when you actually learn how to use it, you're not scared to go chop a carrot or to shoot a gun when you know how to use your tools. So if you don't know anything about money, it could be something to be feared. And I don't know how it really is from a first-hand experience in this country, but in our country, money is looked upon as kind of a bad thing or an evil thing, or you're not supposed to talk about it, or rich people are greedy or evil. All kinds of confusions get intertwined with the conversation of money. And it's really important to recognize that you've got to detangle your own considerations about money. Money doesn't make people evil. Money could maybe accentuate evil people on a bigger level if they had more money. I don't know. But there's a lot of lies around money. You know, first of all, they say in America that doesn't grow on trees. That's a lie. Comes from a cotton bush. That's a tree. You know, it's a tool. It's being able to look at how much. First of all, there's trillions of dollars on the planet. So if each one of us decided to take $1 billion, $2 billion, it's like the ocean. They're not even going to notice that it's gone. It's like taking a bucket of water out of the ocean. Somebody's taking it, why not you? Why not you take what you want to be able to take care of your family, your community? When you know the content of your heart, your vision, what you want to see for mankind, for your friends, for your neighbors, there is nothing worse that you would wish upon someone than to have scarcity of money and health. But everyone deserves to be able to have money, to use money. You know, and I just want to crack the myth on money. You know, so many people say, well, money doesn't make you happy. So I'm going to address two issues on that. One, did you win the lottery? Did that make you happy? Money can make you happy, okay? Money can help out. It just can. Now, can money make you happy if you're fighting with your husband or there's a death in the family? No. But money is money. It's a tool. It's to use to exchange time, energy, resources for something else that's going to help build and improve your empire. Money is not there to make you happy. What makes you happy in life? Is it your children? Is it a vacation? Is it sitting on the beach? Is it soaking in the sun? Like, is it winning in life? Is it accomplishing your goals and your dreams? Is it leaving a legacy? Is it rearing children? Is it helping a fellow brother, sister, friend, neighbor? Like, those are where, me personally, I receive spiritual happiness. And no, money can't fill my spiritual bank account. But you know, the more money that I have, the more people that we can help, the bigger influence that we can have. And, you know, I intend, and not only that, we're at a new place in our life right now because I thought, maybe I shouldn't go off on that tangent, but no, I'm just to a place where I'm at life where I'm not plagued by money. I don't care what people think about me having money, wanting money. If you're looking at me or judging me by the things that I have, first of all, I know myself. I don't need things to be me. I like nice things, but I can be I'm me. If you took all of my money away, I've got my integrity, I've got my knowledge, my self-enhancement, I've got friends, I've got allies, I've got courage, I've got grit, tenacity, integrity, ethics. I can rebuild. I don't need money to make me. I'm me. But I can use the rest of that, and I want to go so big with the money thing now because I want to. The new phase of our life is, and this really comes down to, what is excellence or what is winning, and winning for me is like, how much more can I push myself? How many more people can I help? What can I leave behind? What's my legacy? I want to build a legacy far after I'm gone. I want something that maybe I said today to impinge on you, and maybe you made a difference. That's a piece of me that lives through you that got passed on. That is rewarding and fulfilling. So if I want to, I'm a little bit of a conspiracy theorist, and I believe that there are probably somewhere around 12 families that can control all of America, and I believe there's probably somewhere around 20-something family that control the globe. And so I was looking at this one day, and I thought, I don't like what they're doing. I look around this planet, it's a gorgeous planet. I mean, look at your city. I'm on the 45th floor of the hotel. It's beautiful. You got me. And I'm looking at your city. It's beautiful. I look down, I see this palace, castle, the wheel. I mean, it's just gorgeous. We live on this beautiful planet. Yet we still have criminality. We still have drugs. We still have wars. Like, mankind is killing mankind. Like, we haven't evolved. We have to kill each other. Like, I look around and I said, Grant, we need to be one of those families. We need to be a seat at that table. We have to think that big. We need to have that much arsenal, money, tools, empire to get in there, to be able to be a voice for, Grant and I can thank you. So, Grant and I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana. He's from Lake Charles, Louisiana. I never went to college. We always considered ourselves the little people, compared to these family type people or big corporations or people with massive amounts of money. So I want to be a voice at that table that, puts some ethics into the planet and says enough is enough, and help all the other, obviously we are not little people, but I believe, and it is the conspiracy theorist in me, but I believe they, who I mentioned, have an intention to keep us small, mentally squash us, not talk about money. They talk about money, but they don't want you talking about money. They don't want you knowing about money. So I want all of us little people to be running the world and take it back. So I need a lot of money that controls the coffers.
And I love how you say us little people, because I think that's what inspired me to go and learn how to make money from you and Grant, specifically Grant's story, knowing that he came from this important family. He wasn't particularly smart in school. He didn't even like school like me. He also had issues, with drugs. He also had a lot of personal issues. And look where he is now. Look what he's built and the impact he's having. And one of the things that I am more attracted to you, Grant, is that you guys are unapologetic when you guys talk about making money, selling, doing money. And I find, for example, in the Mexican culture, in the Latin American culture, specifically talking about women, right? It's hard to conceive women in their power. It's hard to conceive women making money. And I thought, I have groups of women that work with me, and one of them, 3 weeks ago, she said, Coral, I'm scared of making more money. True story, guys, listen to this. She said, Corey, I'm scared of making more money because I'm scared of staying single. She said that. So I see a lot of Latin American women not going out there, not letting themselves be ambitious, or go there, like work, do, be powerful, even be dominant, because they're scared, their status in terms of the relationship and the man they're going to be with. How do you manage that with Grant? Because I know Grant is a big businessman, but I see you building a brand as well. I see you making money. What would you say to these women?
Well, for the people that want to hold themselves back from their true power and capacity to influence the behavior of others, I would say, it's partly your mindset. If you're thinking that you're going to be single, that's your mindset. You're not really looking at the possibility that there's 8 billion people on this planet. You have to consider maybe 4 billion are males. Why don't you change your mindset to thinking that you are going to find the man that wants to work in a coordinated, collaborated effort to reach heightened levels of success, and that maybe there's a guy out there that can help you and encourage you and inspire you and lift you up. You've got to think in all of Mexico City, there's got to be guys that want a woman out there who's strong and powerful that they can unite with. Look, 1 is 1. 2 is very powerful. 2 is more than 2. I tell this story about the Clydesdales. The Clydesdales, those big giant Budweiser horses?
Yes.
1 can pull 8,000 pounds, 2 together can pull 32,000 pounds, and if they're harnessed and trained to work in a collaborated effort, can pull 42,000 pounds. So you go from 1 to the power of 2, which is really multiplied when you really come together. So why not just go out and find the man that wants to come together as a union between man and woman and not fight each other for some sort of a power or suppression? When can we come together as a family unit and be powerful together and enhance each other? Now, the woman that's scared to be single, also, if you do become successful, and are you emasculating these men? Are you making them feel like, I used to do this? I'm an independent, powerful woman. I don't depend on a man for anything. I don't need a man. I'm going to make my own decisions no matter what. Of course you are, but you do it with finesse. You don't want to, y'all get the humor in that. But would you want to be in a relationship with a man who doesn't need you? Or who doesn't consider your thoughts or concerns and just does whatever he wants? Well, why would a man want that? Or if you become successful, would you want somebody to berate you and say, you're not a man and why I'm paying for everything? I mean, you've got to be delicate in the way that you flaunt your thing, and you can work together to achieve goals together. So I would say for the girl that's afraid to be single, level up, get around environments where there's men who want to improve themselves, who are at entrepreneurial events, who want to meet strong women. One guy came up to Grant and said, now that I'm successful, I'm afraid these women only want me for my money. And Grant was like, well, you should want a woman who wants you for your money, because they're going to be the ones to continuously mine for gold in yourself and push you. And if you pick a woman who doesn't care about money, and then you become successful and she's like, why are you working so much, and when's enough, and you're not spending enough time with me? Is that what you want when you're in a powerful position and you want to grow? Or do you want a woman who's ambitious, not an entitled woman who's legitimately like, if you don't have money, I'm ditching you, but a woman who is interested in money and finances and where are we going to go and who's protecting the family and how are we going to build this, and they're willing to work on themselves to become valuable and to become an asset, but also contribute and continue to push you. I've pushed Grant. I'm the one that told Grant, you need to become a billionaire. And when I told him that, he was furious at me. He was furious. But I didn't tell, he was mad at me at that time, and he was like, when's enough, and you don't have to build it, and it's fine for you to say, you go out and build this, you're not doing it, and that's an impossible goal, he told me, and that's ridiculous. Everything in his language when he doesn't like something is ridiculous. So that's ridiculous. And I mean, he was so mad at me, and like, don't I provide enough for you? And then I just explained to him. I said, you are trying to create and help other people achieve financial literacy, financial legacy. You're going to do that being a millionaire, a multi-millionaire? Good luck. You see all these people on all the social medias that do the same? What's going to separate you? If you really want to do that, you need to be a billionaire. You need elevation. You need to have a stat that they can't knock. And not only that, but imagine, look at all the billionaires on the billionaires list. They have a product and service that you probably heard of, Walmart, Coca-Cola. It's best known beats best product, by the way. Best known. Coca-Cola on every shelf in the world, that's not a good product, but it's best known. So imagine who you have to be and the attention that you have to gain for yourself in order to exchange your products and services with enough people to hit $1 billion. And for you not to be a billionaire, Grant Cardone, is a transgression. It is a sin against yourself because you have this enormous potential. You have a heart that wants to help. You're an innate teacher, a mentor. You've put all of this knowledge into workable, usable tools, and for you not to get it out there is stingy and it's greedy and I want nothing to do with it. Not only that, Grant Cardone, but all that energy that you have, by you not going after a goal that's worthy and big enough for you, that energy comes at me and I'm done. So you go out there and you hit $1 billion, and now the man's talking about 10 and 50. Like now he's like, oh, he's going crazy. So I mean, do you want a gold digger? Do you want a woman that has money? You decide. Do you want a man that wants to push you? You decide. That's the thing. It's your life. You get to create it, paint it, think the way you want to, not the way you think it should be done, or care about what other people think of you and what they say about you. It takes...
How have you guys dealt with that? Because I know that, greatness comes with hate a little bit.
Oh.
With what would and there's a lot of people here wanting to reach their goals, but they're scared. What will my family think? What will this person say? What if, I don't know, in social media, they put that nasty, message? What would you say to, how do you guys deal with all this hate and people judging? How do you guys deal with that?
Well, most of the people that are hating aren't where we're at. They're usually a little bit, and I don't mean that to be like some superiority person. I've worked really hard to work my way up and through my challenges, my setbacks. I've worked really hard on my integrity, my ethics. I have nothing to hide. I'm transparent. I'm not perfect. I'm willing to own my mistake and correct it. How do I deal with it? I look at the source, and I go, you know, there's some people in life where when you can't come up with your own product, a marriage, that's my product. My husband and my relationship of a 20-year marriage is my product. My 2 children are my products. Coming here and speaking on this stage, these are my products. My book is my product. My church is, you know, activities, 10X ladies, those are my products. And you'll notice the people that fling hate at you, when you look at their products, what are they doing for mankind? Are they destroying? Are they squashing? Are they hurting? What are they doing? Are they separating families? What are their products? And most people who throw hate, because they can't have any products of their own, their product becomes, let me tear down somebody else's products. And that becomes their product. So how do I deal with it? I'm very sensitive. I get my feelings hurt very easily. You've got to know your strengths and weaknesses. That's a big weakness for me. I've had to work really hard to build a thick skin. I've had to work really hard. In the gym helps. And there's other things that I've done too to make myself mentally strong enough. And one of the things is I try not to react emotionally, but strategically. And so now I have this incredible ability now. I don't know if I should share this. It's the biggest secret that Grant and I have to our biggest success. Yes. Y'all want to know?
Yes.
Y'all are going to really have to track with me on this, because what I'm about to say is not normal. It is not normal thinking. Y'all can track?
Yes.
All right. So I had this revelation, this massive cognition one time, that I was living time the way life tells you time goes. Past, present, future. That's very sane. No one's going to argue with that. If you do, you're a crazy person. Crazy person. So time is made up. We can all agree to that, right? Before man was here, there was no time. The calendar, the day, the hour, the minute, the seconds, all made up. So why do I have to live from the past, the present, to the future? When I lived from the past to the present to the future, and I'm going to tie it into the haters, when I lived from the past to the present to the future never happened. It just never happened. So every time I was living from the past, trying to become a billionaire, trying to become a successful wife, trying to become a successful mother, I would have these setbacks. And I would just have my past, and I would go, see, you're a failure, see, see, mom was right, see, pop was right, see, family members of this, they're saying this, they're right, you had this hurdle, oh, you really did a doozy there, you got a lawsuit there, this one said this about you, oh, this one's bad, oh, you know, and it just got tied back into the past over and over and over, which stopped me. Because I'm like, see, this is ridiculous. Why am I having these big goals and I'm going to be the seat at the freaking world table? Like, that is ridiculous. That is so dumb. You think you can be a billionaire, a 10 billionaire? You think you can have world influence? You think you can talk to presidents? You think you can talk to world leaders? Like, right, you didn't even go to college. Like, that is so dumb. You know, do y'all have that voice inside your head? So when I decided, since time is made up, why can't I make it up for myself? So why can't this person live from the future? Why can't I decide that I'm at the table, that I'm a multi-billionaire, that I have influence, that I have impact, that I'm going to make a difference for the better, that I'm going to leave a legacy, that my children are going to be awesome, that I'm going to have an incredible marriage? I have nothing to worry about. I walk in the light. I have integrity. I have ethics. Why can't I have the vacations that I want, fly private, do whatever I want to make my life amazing, and just assume without a shadow of a doubt that that future has already happened? Why do I need in present time to tell me what I am or who I am? I want to be this powerful woman that can be articulate, can be versed, can understand, have conversations, communications with other people in other countries. Y'all are helping me pull my future to myself right now, by the way. And have that future self. Now what we do is reverse engineer. So that's the have, right? The future is the have. It's the picture that you want. That's the have. That's your havingness. Now you have to reverse engineer and do the steps. And you have to be that person now. I have to be that person who's not afraid, who's articulate, who understands finances, who gets along with her husband, who prioritizes parent and mothership, who can lead a women's movement, who is clear, who is disciplined. I have to be that now. I have to wear and assume like I'm wearing a hat of a police officer that says that's the role they do, they're a police officer. I have to wear that world influence hat now. Is it imposter syndrome that I'm not? It's only imposter syndrome if I'm out there declaring that I already am. I just be it. I'm not going to go say I'm a billionaire when I'm not, and I'm not going to go buy Ferraris or planes that I can't afford just to make myself look good. That's a fraud. That's a fake, because a real wealthy person knows how to use money and they don't do stupid things with money. So you be the beingness of that now. Assume that role, assume that position in present time, and do the steps. Come get yourself in the room. I paid $1 million membership to join Mar-a-Lago, which is our future president in a couple of days, club. I paid $1 million to get in that country club so that I can be around what? Who do I want to be around in the future? World influencers. I want to be having conversations. I want to hear the conversations. I want to get in. So be, do, have. So that is a big secret. So now when you talk to me about haters, I'm pretty much, I said this to the backstage, we had this phenomenal conversation with some people, your speakers backstage.
Yeah.
I said, we talked about this when they asked me that very same question. The people that are the haters, with where we're going, that's the picture. I don't look in the past. Past is in the past. I only use things, those setbacks, I take responsibility for those. Why did that happen? What could I have done different? What didn't I notice? There was a red flag. You overlooked it. You wanted the dangling carrot. Is that an expression here?
Yeah.
Okay. You wanted the dangling carrot. You compromised your integrity. I look and take responsibility for what I did that created the situation where I was, victimized, or where I feel like justice didn't occur. I take responsibility for that and I just use that, but I live from the future. So these haters, back to the haters, they're not doing anything. It says more about themselves. And the analogy I used backstage was, if there is a fire, and I called it like the world fire, I want to help eliminate criminality, wars. That's the table. That's where we want to be. I want to help mankind. If that's the fire, and I'm on a fire truck going to, with the last remaining years I have of my life, that is my goal. Am I going to stop the fire truck for some stupid dog barking at the tire? It's ridiculous. They're just going to drop off. They're just going to get exhausted. Now I will say, and again, I feel like I'm repeating myself, but I realize y'all didn't hear the conversation we had backstage. But there are times where empires, unfortunately, because we haven't gotten to peace on earth yet, where wars, or setting an example are important. So when there's real enemies to the group, not the barking dog that I don't want to give attention or power to, but a real enemy who threatens my friends, you're my group, my investors, my family, our employees, you really come threaten our viability, our livelihood, you threaten to stop me from achieving that goal, my future self, then you're an opportunity to metaphorically cut your head off, put it on a spike, and parade it around town, because I want everyone to know that I will attack and I will protect my friends, my family, the community, and the world in the agenda that we're trying to achieve.
So I think this is a very interesting topic, as you mentioned a bit about it, boundaries, right? So what advice do you have for women on creating boundaries, right, that allow them to succeed in their careers without sacrificing their relationships or time with their children?
One of the things to just take into consideration is that you have to give up one or the other, that you really can have it all. And I think if you're going to talk about boundaries, what are the boundaries? Do you even know? Like, you have to be so clear and have clarity on your vision, your intentions, so much clarity that then you can really understand and make it known for everyone what your expectations are of yourself and them. So for example, I have such clarity of all of the different roles and hats that I wear, that I'm very clear that family is going to come first when family needs to come first. Family doesn't always need to come first. Sometimes my kids are bored and they want my attention, and then I have to be artfully kind of put them off with somebody that can entertain them. But when my kids really need me, then I'm going to make sure that I go there. I delegate the roles, for instance. Like, I'm going to have somebody that can fill in my shoes at work when I can't be there. I try to be 100%. I wasn't perfect with this up until recently, but now I get everyone on the same page. The kids know we're here to make a difference for the better on this planet. This is how we do it, yada, yada, yada. Where do you see yourself fitting into Team Cardone? If I have to leave you, I'm here today, I'm not with them. Then are you responsible for taking care of the home so I don't have to worry about you? That is a role and a contributing member of the family. So nobody's left out. Everyone's included. So they understand the boundaries. They understand that I will drop everything if it's an emergency. They don't play the emergency card unless it's an emergency. My work people understand they have to step in if not. So I'm constantly now fulfilling all obligations of what we're trying to accomplish, so that everyone understands the goal, the mission, the dreams, the vision, and everyone can kind of step in as a teammate to make the vision get pulled off.
And how important it is to align the family, right, for a goal, for a vision. Because what I see usually happening, right, is like mothers, or even sometimes I have friends in the business world that they stop achieving or wanting to reach heightened levels of success because they don't want to sacrifice time with their family. And I see that you guys have a different philosophy on things.
Yeah, well, we talk as a family and we see where we want to go. I turn off the phone when I'm with my kids. So if it's 30 minutes, it's 30 minutes of me showing them that they have my full attention and I'm fully alert and listening. That's the part I was saying I wasn't always good at until just recently. And that's it. Like, I don't compromise that phone time with them. Now, is it 3 hours? No, but 30 minutes, they know their mom is listening to them. And it's your life, so I'm not going to tell anyone, there's some single mothers out there, single fathers out there, however the circumstances play out, where you might not have the luxury to stay at home with your children. You might have to work. Let them know. That can be also an example of you taking care and protecting your family. Let them know, hey, we are doing this for our future, for our legacy, for your children, so that we can provide generational wealth. Let them, and hey, understand when I have to be gone. It's because I'm taking care of you and setting an example that, we can take care of our own.
Question about couples. How can couples align their visions and goals when one partner might be more ambitious or financially driven than the other? And also, should you accept your husband just as he is?
Well, clearly I didn't accept mine the way he was. So, how do you get aligned? Was that the first part of the question?
Yeah, the first part is how can couples align their visions and goals when you have different levels of ambitions? So, for example, in my audience, I tend to see that women tend to be more ambitious than the men they date. So how do you align that when that's a bit different?
Well, again, it's your life, right? What Grant and I did, and let's imagine this is a piece of paper. You just draw a line down this side and a line down this side. So there's 3 columns on the page. And one column I wrote me, and those are my personal goals and dreams and aspirations. And then I put his on the far right. And I think you'll find some of you might not even know what your partner's dreams or goals are. That could be a little bit of a problem. And then the middle column, we wrote couples goals. So if my personal goal was to work out, eat healthy, blah, 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 what are my couples goals? Who are we as a couple? It helped put us as a we and not as a me and a him. Of course, you can't neglect your own individual entity, but I realized from doing that exercise was, well, what do we want to be? Do we want to be the power couple that brings back stability for the family? Do we want to be church contributors? Do we want to be global leaders? All of this kind of went into this couples goals. Who are we? And you could look at yourselves and go, well, who are we being now? Are we the fighting couple? Are we the couple that people feel awkward about going out with because we're always bickering and fighting? Like, you got to look, where are you at now and where do you want to be? And the where you want to be, if we want to be a model couple for you, then I have to put myself in check when I'm fighting with Grant. I have to be very elevated. And I have to come to the argument with a resolution of getting back together and on the same page, and not coming to the fight with having to be right and I have to win this war. You say that for the outside. For your partner, it's about these couples goals are aligned to get you back on the same page. You understand when you're fighting with your partner that you have an enemy. Who is the enemy? The enemy is the person that wants to see couples divorce, wants to see families ruined. So every time you're fighting, you're letting that side win. And there is a very conspiracy theorist again. I think there's efforts on this planet to destroy families, destroy men and women from getting along, figuring out how to cohabitate. There's so much out there, wrong, false data, narratives to pit women against men. So every time I fight with Grant, my couple's goal says, I want to be a model couple. I want to restore the family unit on this planet. That's who I am. If I'm fighting, am I destroying him? Or are we going to have a conversation to figure out how we can get back in alignment, work out agreements, so that we can come together and give the middle finger to all the people that say men and women can't get along, families need to be destroyed, and want to keep us weak. So that's the importance of the couple's goal and how we sort of align with each other. Now, if you have a man or a woman that doesn't do what you do, let's say you're the beast or the little roles are. If that is valuable in your relationship, even though it might not be traditional, but if that allows you and gives you the support for you as the woman or man or whatever to be the badass, do you need two badasses, or do you need that other role? And are you really caring about that role because you think it's how you're perceived by other people? But if you had that role, you could excel so much higher for the greater good of you and the family and everything that you want to do. That's what you need to look and evaluate for yourself. What is it that I want? And the roles that we play in our group called our family to help us play out our goals and our dreams for our couple's goals. So that's, you can't do what I do, what somebody else does. Y'all have to work it out together. So I don't think Grant looks down upon me because I'm not a hammer like he is, and I don't do Grant, I do me. And Grant doesn't want another Grant. He doesn't want a chick running through walls and breaking, destroying everything. We call him the hurricane. I'm like part of the cleanup crew, that just goes behind this, So you got to figure out what makes y'all most powerful together and embrace it and figure out how to work with your strengths and weaknesses to reach a heightened level of success together. And don't care what that looks like to the outside. Y'all just do you and go create the life that you want that's going to make a difference for the better on the planet.
Elena, what advice would you give to women who are afraid of taking risks in business or investing, especially those who feel they don't have enough resources or knowledge?
Get knowledge. I mean, you have to make yourself valuable. I mean, for me to become the person that I want to be, I've invested in financial courses. I ask Grant a lot of questions. I'm learning about this Bitcoin space. I'm educating myself on real estate, on investments, on stocks. I'm listening to different books that come recommended. I'm listening to certain podcasts. I'm getting familiar with the language that they speak. And the definition, I think, of an entrepreneur is a person who is willing to put something at risk for the potential of a monetary reward financially. So I believe in the definition of entrepreneur, it actually uses the word risk. So at some point you want to make a risk, but you want to make an educated, informed risk. So do your homework, study, learn about financial investments, learn about, study people who aren't just, the self-proclaimed millionaires on social media. Start studying, what are the big companies doing? What are the billionaires doing? How do they invest money? How do they leverage money? How do they use money? What do they invest in? Where were their problems? What are the cycles of money? I mean, there's going to become a time when you feel like, okay, you know what? I feel comfortable with this. This is the area that I'm knowledgeable and I'm ready to invest in.
Yeah. I see Grant has many businesses, right? One of them is his online business. I like to call that, I call mine a digital empire. What has being in the digital space mean for you? And would you say that's a good opportunity for starting a business?
Yes. I mean, it's so easy. Think about it. It's not like you need massive teams. The product's already delivered, like digital. You're talking about digital products?
Digital products.
Digital products. I don't have to show up. I don't have to get on a plane. I shot it in the studio. He shot it in the studio. It's just, it's an incredible business you don't have to leave your home, your kids, your husband, your wife. It's definitely, it's a very successful business for us. One of them.
which is what I was saying.
That's why, I think, money follows value.
Yeah.
Money follows attention, as we spoke about with the Coca-Cola example, but it also follows value. And I think that's why you're so successful and known by so many people is, A, you're willing to get the attention, you're willing to put yourself at risk. There's risk there, and anybody puts themselves out there, you're going to get some attacks or some haters or people that don't like you or say your product didn't work or whatever. It doesn't matter. What about the 1,000 people that can actually create a product once you give them the data? The only people products don't work for are the people that don't know how to make products. So they get information, they spend money, and then they're like, can you do it for me? And because I'm not successful, then your product's wrong, So that's why I believe you're so successful, is because you're tried and true, you have the data, you want to see people win, succeed, you know your market, and you create value. You have tremendous value.
And I've had tremendous mentors. I've been with you and Grant for 2 years and a half, I think. I always say, like I wrote to you in the letter, right? Most of the financial barriers that I broke was thanks to you and Grant. Because I've been coming to see you and Grant, and I've invested, right? Like I put down that money.
Yeah.
And I mean a little girl from Mexico, ex-addict, putting down so much when taking that risk in myself, to be close to my mentors, to receive advice. What do you think on the power of proximity and paying for proximity?
I just paid $1 million to get in proximity. It's so powerful. It's so smart what you've done. It's not easy to put down money for a product, but if you're living from the past and you put down money for a product, the past is going to tell you what? That doesn't work. Why? Because the last 20 you tried didn't work, or you failed, or you didn't do it, or you didn't apply it, or the this or the that. So why do you want to put down money for the next thing when you're living from the past? But if you can change your mindset and go, my future self, my billionaire self, your millionaire, whatever your goals are, if I put in the future to be a successful wife, I have to be a successful wife now. I can't be going to talk about divorce if that's my future self. So you reverse engineer. So you go right now, I need to know what I don't know in order to grow and expand to become my future self. This time, I'm going to buy this product, and this time it's a stepping stone to that, no longer anything connected from what didn't work in the past. And so when you put down your money, you trusted us, our products and services, and it was probably uncomfortable, and I can tell you now, it's still uncomfortable. And when I paid $1 million, that was like, what am I doing? Grant was like, this is what did he say? This is ridiculous. I was like, I don't care, I'm doing it, because I want Grant sitting at the freaking table, and he might not really get it yet, but that's the thing. And so he doesn't have to know it now, but that's where he's going to be. I don't need him to agree. I need to agree. He's going to, I follow in his draft, but he can follow in mine too. So, and by the way, we had, and then let me get back to this, because it expanded you, it grew you. But I will say this, a few nights ago, well, not only were we there for the election night, and we were there for New Year's Eve, we were there for a new members welcoming party, and you can't bring a guest. It's only for the members and the new members. I'm a new member. So I go in, and I just happened to pick this one table and sat us down at. And it was buffet, and we got our food, and I'm introducing myself to other people at the table. There was no set seating. Mr. President, future president, comes into the room, everybody stands up, and he comes right in front of me and sits, like I can touch him. The Secret Servants aren't there, so I'm standing, and he comes right here because he's gonna sit at the table literally like right here. And you're not supposed to take pictures in this place, so don't tell on me, but I did take my phone and I took like a selfie picture and I got in the back of his head. I was like, I won't post it, but I have it for myself. But he sits right there. And so he stands in front of me. I didn't know what to say, but I'm like, future self, start talking, say anything. And I said, thank you so much. Like, old me from the past wouldn't have said anything because I don't have value and I don't have anything important to say and who am I and you know, all of that. But future self was like, you talk to presidents, Elena, start talking. So I said, hello. I said, I want to thank you so much. I became a new member. You signed my application. I have it framed. That was a little fib, but I figured it couldn't hurt. But I could. It's not too late. I said, you signed my application on December 26th, and it was the best Christmas gift I could have received. Thank you. And he goes, that's right. I did just sign you. And he read my name, Elena. Calling me by my name. And he was like, well, welcome, congratulations. I was like, oh, it's so great to be here, blah, 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 blah. And he sits down and I started taking my photos, you know. But that's just an example of life and paying for proximity. And that $1 million, like, even though y'all probably think, oh, she's a billionaire. I don't know what a billionaire is. Do you? I don't walk into a closet and see $1 billion and go, oh my God, I'm a billionaire. Like I'm still me. That money exists in bank accounts and it's tied up in real estate and this and that. I'm like, I don't know, what is that? What does it mean? I don't, nothing other than my mentality, nothing changed. Like, do I control the billion? Does Grant control the billion? I know I paid my own $1 million and that hurt me, you know. But I also realized, like me, because we have our kind of separate things, but we also, I'm not going to go buy a plane or a house or a car without talking to my husband and using our resources. But, you know, I also felt like with the money that I have, I also didn't need his permission, which is why it's so great to have your own financial, because when I said I need to be in the room with the president, then I don't want to have to be dependent on somebody else's decision. I know that is real. That future has already happened. It just hasn't happened yet, but it's already happened, if that makes any sense to anyone other than me. And when we left that day, by the way, that same night, Grant was able to speak with him and the sons, who I've now made, you know, relationships, you know, here and there. Well, I wouldn't call them best friends, but now they know who we are. Grant opened at Coachella. He spoke at Madison Square Garden. So these are little droplets. And when we left that night, I had my biggest validation, not that you should need it from anyone, you should validate yourself. However, it is nice when you get it, especially from Elena Cardone, who said to me in the car ride home, that was a good decision. Thank you for making us members.
Elena, I know how important are women for you, because I see the movement that you're creating, everything you're doing, you know, empowering women. What would you say to these Latin beautiful women? I know there's many that really love you too.
Yes, we love our men that love and protect women and children. Thank you.
But specifically to the women here, you know, to the Latin women, where we are, you know, we see more and more women owning their power, being financially independent, starting their businesses. What would you say to these women in Latin America?
I would say continue to be great. Share your heart, your products, your services with the world. Don't be stingy. You're helping other people that need your products and services, and you can use all of your success financially, personally, to enhance your partner and your family. It doesn't have to be an either or. We can all figure out how to get along as man, as woman, as mankind. and we can flourish and prosper and make a difference and build empires, and you can be the beacon of hope for those around you, and we can spread, that can be the contagion of beautiful inspiration and beautiful products, and that can spread faster than COVID. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can inspire others. You can have an effect on other people, and it goes down to just smiling at somebody. See, I can smile back. That's power, you know, and we can all make a difference. And when we really start to embrace that and try to live that and have the audacity to go out and fight the planet that's telling you you're small, you can't make it, you can't win, you're not supposed to get along with your partners, your children, this, that. I know it's a lot and it can be overwhelming, but if you can continue to get yourself in environments and around groups of like-minded people like yourselves, there's strength in numbers. It starts in the bedroom with your partner, out into, you know, people like you and the community and the planet, and we can make a difference and we can win.
Elena, thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, Elena Cardone.
Quédate de pie, quédate de pie, quédate de pie.